you know you're autistic. In fact, many autistic people mask even harder after diagnosis because they finally have a name for their struggle. They understand themselves for the first time. The question becomes, am I masking too much? And more importantly, how do I know when the masking is hurting me instead of helping me survive? Today we're walking through 7 specific signs that your masking has crossed the line from survival strategy to self-destruction. These aren't theoretical. These are lived experiences from autistic people who masked so hard they broke. The first sign you're masking too much is complete neurological shutdown at home after being around people. And I'm not talking about normal tiredness. I'm talking about coming home and being unable to move for hours. Unable to do anything except exist in darkness until your nervous system recovers enough to function again. This is selective mutism in action. This is your brain literally checking out because it's been forced to perform all day and now there's nothing left. If you're coming home from work or social events and you can't function for hours, if your partner or family members have learned not to talk to you for the first 2 hours after you get home, if you need complete silence and darkness to recover, that's a sign you've been masking at unsustainable levels. Your body is telling you that the performance is too expensive. You can describe yourself as you appear to the world. You don't know what you actually enjoy doing. Sarah, an autistic woman we spoke with, described it like this. I looked in the mirror at 38 and realized I didn't know what I liked. I didn't know what I wanted, but I had completely disappeared. You're terrified that someone will figure out you're autistic, that they'll realize you don't have the emotional capacity they think you have. You're managing the terror that your performance will crack. If you're living in fear of being discovered, if you're rehearsing stories and alibis for why you might seem different, if you're spending significant mental energy on preventing people from knowing the truth about you, that's a sign your masking has become toxic. The fourth sign is that you have no energy left for anything that actually matters to you. You mask at work. You can't pursue hobbies. Marcus, a high-achieving professional we spoke with, described it this way. I was so busy being the person everyone needed me to be that I forgot to be the person I wanted to be. I had this incredible idea for a project I wanted to create. That's excessive masking. You're observing yourself from outside your body. You've been performing so intensely that your brain has learned to disconnect from the experience to protect itself. You're distant. If you're regularly experiencing this sense of watching yourself from outside, if you feel disconnected from your own experiences, if you describe yourself as a ghost in your own life, that's a sign your masking has become traumatizing to your nervous system. The sixth sign is that you're experiencing physical health symptoms that doctors can't explain. Chronic pain? These are your body's way of expressing what you can't say out loud. Masking is chronic stress. And chronic stress creates physical illness. Your body is literally breaking down from the effort of maintaining the performance. If you've been to multiple doctors, tried multiple treatments, and nothing helps, if your health got worse around the same time your masking intensified, if you're experiencing symptoms that seem to come from nowhere, that's your body telling you the masking is too much. Your nervous system is in a permanent stress response, and your body is manifesting that as physical disease. The seventh and most dangerous sign is that you've started thinking about not existing anymore. Suicidal ideation, not because you're depressed about your life circumstances, but because you're so exhausted from being someone you're not, that the idea of not existing feels like relief. You're fantasizing about disappearing. You're thinking about what would happen if you just didn't wake up. This is your nervous system sending a final SOS. This is the masking to burnout to crisis pipeline at its endpoint. If you're experiencing these thoughts, that's a sign that your masking has crossed from survival strategy into life-threatening territory. You need help now. If you recognize yourself in even 3 of these signs, your masking has become unsustainable. And here's what's important to understand. This isn't weakness. This isn't failure. This is what happens when autistic people force themselves to live in a world not built for them. This is the natural consequence of chronic performance in a system designed for neurotypical brains. The question isn't why you're masking. The question is, what needs to change so you don't have to mask this hard anymore? The answer might be setting boundaries at work. It might be being honest with your partner about your needs. It might be finding a community where you don't have to perform. It might be a complete life restructuring. It might be unmasking publicly and accepting that some people won't understand. Whatever it is, continuing at this level of masking is unsustainable. Your nervous system will eventually force the issue by breaking down completely. So the question becomes, will you choose to change before the breakdown, or will you wait for the breakdown to force the change? The outcome is the same either way. The only difference is whether you have some agency in the process. If this resonates with you, if you recognize yourself in these signs, if you're realizing that your masking has become dangerous, you might relate to our next video, the Complete Unmasking Guide, how to stop masking safely and rebuild your life around your actual needs. That video walks through the exact steps of recognizing when masking is too much, how to start setting boundaries, how to handle the reactions when people realize you're autistic, and how to build a life that doesn't require performing at unsustainable levels. Thousands of people have watched that video and realized for the first time that they have agency in this situation, that they don't have to keep performing until they break. That change is possible. So if this landed with you today, subscribe and watch that next video. Join a community of people learning that your health matters more than other people's comfort, that authenticity is possible even in a world that demands performance, that you deserve to exist without masking yourself to death. Thank you for recognizing these signs. Thank you for being willing to see yourself in this truth. And remember, the fact that you can mask this well doesn't mean you should. The fact that you've survived this long on performance doesn't mean you have to keep it up. You're allowed to stop. You're allowed to be tired. You're allowed to be authentic. You're allowed to take your mask off. And your life can actually get better when you do.